word on Jersey issues that matter most to you. Call Jersey Central with Burt Barron now at 732-545-9282 or toll free at 888-545-9282. Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Burt Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
8:48, and we're back on Jersey Central here on WCTC. You can check out the list of closings and delays. It is still on our website, of course, at WCTCAM.com. Spent a good portion of this morning remembering former New Jersey Governor Brendan Byrne, who passed away yesterday at the age of 93. And let me welcome to the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline the president and CEO of the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if people realize just how involved Governor Byrne was with this terrific organization, but the president and CEO, Tom Bracken, is joining me this morning here on WCTC. Tom, good morning. It's Burt Barron. Happy New Year to you, sir. How are you?
Happy New Year to you, Burt. Thanks for having me.
Good to talk to you. And I don't know if people just realize, Tom, and have an appreciation for just what exactly former Governor Byrne meant to the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. You want to talk about that unique relationship that he had with your group?
He had a very unique relationship. Brendan actually was on our board for a period of time when I was a board member and before I took on this role. And he actually came to board meetings a few times, was very involved with our annual Walk to Washington train trip. And I don't like to disagree with my friend Paul Rotella, but it wasn't 40 years on the train. He was 51 years on the train.
Wow.
And I think 50 of those years was consecutively. So he was a stalwart on the train, and I can tell you, Bert, that he would occupy a seat on the train. We always gave him the same seat. He sat next to Ruthie, and that was probably the number one stop of people as they walked up and down the train cars.
I always made a point. Too. It's funny you should mention that because I always used to kind of search him out because, number one, he always had a great seat on the train, and there was always 5 or 6 seats available around him, so he could kind of entertain a larger crowd. But you're right. Sometimes you just had to wait in line just to get a couple of minutes with former Governor Byrne.
Every year, we made sure that we gave him that seat because we knew how popular he was, and it was a great highlight of the train trip every year.
Yeah, no question about it. And we'll let you give the information on the upcoming trip this year in just a few moments. But it seems like he was a guy who was always involved, Tom. He always wanted to make sure that New Jersey was, our economy was where it was. His involvement, obviously, with the Chamber of Commerce, a great statewide organization that you're now president and CEO of. But a guy that just, he lived and he cared and bled New Jersey. He was a guy that up until his very last breaths here, was involved in making New Jersey the best possible place it could be. He was commenting on social issues, conferring with current Governor Christie and previous governors as well. He always kind of had his toe in the water, if you will, of things that were happening in the state, and that's one of the things that I really admired most about Governor Byrne.
And again, disagreeing with my friend Paul Rotella, who said he thought Brendan Byrne was maybe a more effective governor after he left office than when he was in office. But you have to understand what Brendan Byrne did when he was the governor. I mean, he created New Jersey Transit. He saved the Pinelands. He got the Meadowlands Sports Complex. He was the governor who got that off the ground. He instituted our income tax, which you can say is good or bad, but the state needed that, and he had the courage to put that through at great peril that almost lost him a second term. He was the governor when we established gambling in Atlantic City. I mean, you can go on and on about what this guy did, and if you look at his accomplishments, and after a governor leaves office, everybody said, "What's your greatest accomplishment?" And Brendan's list of accomplishments, I'm not sure there's a governor who can have a list as long and as powerful as his. So as governor, he was extremely effective, maybe one of the best we've ever had. He was great afterwards, being on the speaking circuit and his involvement in other events and organizations and initiatives. But this gentleman had a long and very successful and powerful run. I started my banking career in Trenton in 1969, and Brendan was first elected, I believe, in 73. And so he was the governor who really the first governor I really knew when I was in my business career, because the first couple of years of being in business, I was kind of oblivious to that. But it's interesting, Bert. The first time I ever met Brendan Byrne was obviously the governor's office was in Trenton. My banking office was in Trenton, and I used to play squash. And Brendan Byrne used to play squash at a place called the Trenton Club, which is on State Street in Trenton, no longer there. And I went down there at noontime just to play squash with whoever was there. And I went on the court one day, and this guy walks in. He said, "You want to play?" And I said, "Sure." We played. I'd never met him before. That was Brendan Byrne.
Wow.
He was governor. I was a bank trainee. We had a great time. And to the last time I met with him, we'd always recall that we played squash, and we had a great time together back in those days. And he was just a wonderful, wonderful person that had a great personality. And look, he was an honest politician. And look at the moniker he was given, which was the governor who couldn't be bought. Remember that?
Oh, sure.
And that speaks volumes of this guy. He was, he spoke his mind. He was straightforward. He was honest. And to this day, he passed away with the total respect of people, his integrity intact, and his accomplishments speaking for themselves. So this was a wonderful gentleman. We're going to all miss him. He was one of a kind, and I love the Star-Ledger headline today, which is in big bold print. It says, "An original."
Yeah.
And yes, he was. He was absolutely an original. And the other thing I would say is, to me, a lot of times the testament of somebody is manifested in their children. And I know a couple of Brendan's kids, but his son Tom is a very good friend of mine. And, he raised Tom in a way that, to me, was exemplary. Look what Tom has done. Tom, in my estimation, is one of the best people in New Jersey never to have become governor. I think he would have been a great governor if he had ever decided to run. But that's also a testament to Brendan, that he could raise a family as large as he did, and many of them achieved great prominence. And, again, a testimony to who he was.
Yeah, and you had mentioned there his list of accomplishments, and his thumbprint continues to this day to be on a lot of things. And it's funny you should mention about the squash, because I'm sure if I asked him about playing squash with you, he'd say, Tom's a good player. I got a better forehand, but he's a pretty good player. Be something like that.
I mean, he would beat me every time. I'd admit to that. He was very good.
Yeah, he'll definitely be missed. Tom, as we wrap up, you want to just give a quick mention about the upcoming walk to Washington, the dates and the particulars on that?
Yeah, Bert, it's March 1st and 2nd. This year it's a little later than normal for a number of reasons, not the least of which is scheduling with the hotel. But it's the same drill as always. Starts up in Newark, picks up people all the way down through Wilmington, Delaware. Thursday night is the dinner, and the congressional delegation will be there. Not sure yet who the speakers will be. But we're still lining those up. But it's going to be a very, very packed train this year. We know that because of all the changes going on, and it's going to be an exciting time. We're probably going to have to add more cars this year because of the popularity of it. So I would suggest that people sign up early, because the hotel rooms go quickly, and they don't want to be shut out of this event, because it's going to be a networking event that is going to be unequaled absolutely in the year 2018. So March 1st and 2nd, and we hope that everybody will show up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I know you've been on there many times, and I hope you're there this year.
Definitely will, sure.
Again, it's a big event for the state. Should be a lot of great conversation, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody on that train trip.
You bet. NJChamber.com. And Tom Bracken, thanks for your time this morning. Greatly appreciate that. Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon, all right?
Okay, Bert, and just in final, let me just say, I'm going to miss Brendan, as many people are. The state is much better off for having him have been here for so long, and God bless him. And I hope I see many of the people listening today Monday at his ceremony up at the Paper Mill Playhouse. It should be a packed house, and very deserving for this great gentleman.
Yep, no question. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate the time this morning.
Okay, Bert.
All right. Jersey Central traffic and weather time, 8:50.